Hi, it's Laura again. I am back with card number 2, and this is the packet you will need. It should be the second layer in your kit. And depending on which tree you got will determine what the orientation of your card is. So let me show you the 2 completed cards. So this one obviously is more horizontal. So if you got that kind of a tree, you're going to want to align your card this way. It will open from bottom to top like that. If you got one of the taller, skinnier trees or houses, I would do it this way. You certainly could do it this way, but I think it just fits the space better. So that one is going to open from right to left. So it just depends on what house you happen to get. So for this one, you received 1 house and 2 trees, a large one and a small one. And you can cut these out if you don't have the dies. These are pretty easy shapes to cut. But if you have the dies, look how easy this is. And this is just cutting right from the designer paper. So I've already done this, but let me just show you. These fit right over that. And I ran them through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and they just popped right out beautifully. That was nice. That's kind of a nice little perk. And I mentioned that before, how some of the dies in this set coordinate with the designer series paper. All right, so I'm going to set those aside a minute. And the other thing in your little packet of die cuts, there I gave you a strip with 3 different wreaths. You're only going to need 1 for this card, so you have an extra one, 2 extra ones to do what you wish with them. There is also a die that will cut out the wreath. I put a mark on mine. I don't know if you can see that. I put a little red mark on mine so that I always knew where the top of the wreath was, where the bow is, and that works on either one of these. So you can go ahead and die cut that, and I did not do that. I should have done it while I was cutting out the house and the trees, but I'm just going to take my paper snips and just quickly cut this out. And you know the trick when you're cutting out something like this, you hold your scissors still and you move your paper. This is pretty easy to cut. Although I do really like the dies. Okay, so there's my wreath. I'm gonna put these back in this bag, and I'll save those for another project. All right. Okay, so and the other thing you're gonna need out of this, I'm sorry, is this little. There's a little rectangular panel, and that's going to be for our words. And for this one, I used from Itty Bitty Christmas. It says from our house to yours. And I stamped this in the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Go ahead and stamp that. Right on there like that. And then I put the wreath at the bottom, and I'm going to I'll pop that wreath up in a second, but I'm not going to do that yet because I want to attach it first to my card base. And then I need Pool Party ink. Grab that here. I forgot to get it out of my ink. Okay, so the Pool Party ink, and I'm going to use these snowflakes. Set that aside. Any of these would work. I actually chose this one because you can do it kind of fills it up faster. There's 3 look at all the stamps you get in this. That's pretty cool. Okay, so here's the one I'm going to use. Put that on my block. And because this is photopolymer, you know that I always like to stamp with photopolymer on my deluxe foam mat. This is a This is actually something that is sold with the Stamparatus, but I just find it's really nice to stamp on. So I'm just going to add some color to the background of my card front. And I'm just going to randomly stamp these. Once I'm going over the edges, I'm just going to fill up this card front. Turn it different. And you can do as little or as much as you like, but I think that looks pretty good. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put one right there as well. Okay. So I'm going to bring that over here, and I'm just going to put this together. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this circle, and I'll put that right there, and that will just be attached with my adhesive, my seal. It's going to be flat. It's not going to be popped up at all. Put that on there like that. And then I'll go ahead and add the house, and I'm going to pop that up. And I've used most of the dimensionals on this sheet, but I just like to take my paper snips and just cut these because I use every bit of these. Don't want to throw them away. So I'll just do that like that. And I'll go ahead and position this house. Put that about right there. And then I will take my trees. And these are both popped up as well. And you know, really these edges, these parts that are left over, the edges of the dimensionals, are really nice for attaching like skinny things like this tree. The big and the small. So that's going to go right there. And then I'll do the same with the small one, and I just need a little piece for that. This one probably will work. Yeah, that fits really well. You can use the regular dimensionals too, or the minis. That would work on this little tree. I'm just going to put that right there, like that. And then I will attach this, and I think I'm going to trim it just a titch. I think I'm going to cut it from the top. To make sure that fits. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'll go ahead and attach that to my card front, my stamp and seal. And then I'll take my wreath, and this I will pop up as well. And I think for this, let's see, what do I have here? Well, you know what? I'm just going to take a piece of this, but I'll cut it. These are a little bit too big. I'll just cut those in half, that little strip, and that should fit. Yep, that looks good. So put that on there. And that's just going to go right here. The other thing you could do is put it on the front of the door. That would be really cute. You could just V this to make like a banner, but I think it's cute there. So that, and then this will be mounted on our Thick Whisper White card base. And it's up to you if you want to just attach this flat or if you want to pop it up. I think I'll just attach it flat. This is cute. I just think this is a cute card. I just love these, the houses and the trees, and I just love everything about these. I just think they're really cute. Okay, so there's that. And then again, you can embellish any way you want. Let me bring in the two finished ones that I made so that you can see both of the orientation, different orientations. So I put some of the red dots on the trees and then added a couple of the white ones. This one I added a star right in the center of the house, a couple white, and the red one there. So again, depending on which house you got, if you got a tall one or a wide one, that will determine how you will put this card together. All right, I'll be back with the next card in just a minute.